very important mega regional trade agreement. Okay. Now why it is so important? Already UPSC 2 times in 2016 as well as in 2018 have asked question from this, and still many in 2018 alone, many round of negotiations have happened. It was decided that in 2018, end of 2018 it will be finalized, but it was extended to 1 more year, that is by end of 2019. The member countries are expecting to sign this mega regional trade agreement. Okay. So regarding this regional comprehensive economic partnership, whenever you read the news, the most important point about this mega regional trade agreement is that it has 16 members. How so? Because it is basically this mega regional free trade agreement is between ASEAN, so it is an initiative of ASEAN and its 6 FTA partners. So RCEP is a mega trade bloc between ASEAN and its 6 free trade agreement partners. So there are 16 members, 10 ASEAN members and 6 FTA partners of ASEAN. So these 6 members are China, Japan, South Korea, not North Korea. China, Japan, South Korea. Then we have India, very well. This is the reason why it is so important. India, then Australia and New Zealand. So these are the 6. These are the only 6 FTA partners, or ASEAN have signed only free trade agreement with the 6 countries. And this was the 2018 UPSC prelims question. This they were testing in 2018 prelims question, they were knowledge of the 6 FTA partners of ASEAN. A very prominent affair in 2017 also. And again, so have an idea. So RCEP is very important for you. Okay. Now we'll come to the, we know that it's a mega regional trade agreement. It consists, what all things it consists? Okay. What all things this will cover? It will cover goods, free trade in goods, services, investment, economic and technical cooperation. It will include competition and intellectual property rights. So it has covered almost every important sectors. So we'll have a much more clarity once it comes into force. Now, this is very, see, whenever you read a news, okay, this is actually I told you how UPSC, see, any civil service aspirant find this 2018 prelims question very important. But if you have studied this trade agreement chapter and if you have read 1 or 2 article, this was the common thing they have said. RCP is a mega trade bloc between ASEAN and its 6 FTA partners. Okay. So that already UPSC have asked this question. So be very, through map, learn that 6 FTA partners and be very thorough with the 10 ASEAN member countries. Okay. Now in relation to India, okay. India, see why RCP is in news continuously. There is several round of negotiation is going on. In February also there was a negotiation. In April also there will be. In November 2018 we were thinking that it will be implemented, but it was extended to 1 more year. Okay. So continuously is in news. India is a member and this mega trade agreement can have an influence in into many India's sectors, including many domestic industries. So we are going for a hard negotiation. Reason being, in our earlier free trade agreement, India have suffered a lot, especially it has increased the imports. Our exports was comparatively not that impressive in relation to goods. And service sector, they have not, many, especially ASEAN countries have not have not opened the service sector to India properly. So India want RCP, when it signed or when it comes into force, India wants service sector to be opened up, and also India want to address the Chinese free imports because China is a member of RCP. Okay, so what is India's commitment? What is India's commitment towards RCP is that in relation to these 3 countries, they have a common thing between India. What is it? ASEAN. ASEAN is 10 members. Japan and South Korea. India is having free trade agreement. India is having free trade agreement with ASEAN, Japan and South Korea. This can be like the way they asked in relation. They asked, see 2018 question was, which of the following are the free trade agreement partners of ASEAN? Like that, they can ask question. They can ask question, which of these are FTA partners of India? So, the other three members, China, Australia and New Zealand, presently we don't have any free trade agreement with China. We don't have any free trade agreement with Australia and New Zealand. Okay. So, India's commitment towards FTA partners and non-FTA partners are different. So, to the FTA partners, India's commitment is that to 90% of India's items, we will eliminate tariff. There will be elimination of tariff to 90% of items to which countries? Which partners? FTA partners, 90%. And to non-FTA partners, that is Australia, New Zealand and China, that is India's commitment is towards 80% of items. Okay. So, this can be a potential question for you. They can confuse you. Either relation by asking question regarding FTA and non-FTA, and they can change the members and change the commitment also. So, be very clear. Whenever you read an article on RCP, this also repeated. I have shared an article. Read it. But this is, see, you know how UPSC asks question. And you know what is the core point. Revise it. You can easily answer it. Now, so already see what is India's concern. Okay, already among these 15 member countries, almost with 10 member countries, India is having trade deficit. Out of these 15 countries, including India, 16. So, out of these 15 member countries, India is having trade deficit. Okay, so how to address it? Especially with China, South Korea, Indonesia and Australia, we are having high trade deficit. Okay, so that is a concern which we have to address it in relation to, at least we have to compensate in relation to getting more access to our services. And then if RCP comes into force, since from Trans-Pacific Partnership US withdrawn, now if when TPP will come into force, it will become the largest trading bloc in the world, because it's expected that this will constitute around 30 to 40% of global GDP. India and the remaining member countries, India, China, Japan is there. Okay, and it is constituting around these 16 members constituting around 42% of the world population. So in that way, in relation to trade, in relation to global GDP, in relation to population, RCP when it comes into force will become the largest trading bloc. Okay, that's a very, these are the core point. If you are clear with these core point, any question on RCP, you can answer it. And the basic things about the WTO, IPR, core principles India follows, how India is affected by the free trade agreement. If you know India's foreign trade policy, any question on trade agreement, you can easily answer it. Okay, so this was the question asked in 2016, very simple question. The term Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership often appears in the news in the context of ASEAN. And this was the 2018 prelims question. So before that, just have an idea. We will learn the map. We will learn the map of RCEP, Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership. Okay. So I told you 10 ASEAN members, then India, China, Japan, Korea, Australia, New Zealand. So total 16 members, Now this, see the question 2008, see they have never used the word RCEP. There is no mentioning about RCEP. But read the question. They have given you 6 countries. Looks very difficult. But see the choice. From the choice itself you will get to know that, okay, 4 is correct, 2 is wrong. Ready? And then what is the question? Which of the above are among the free trade partners of ASEAN? ASEAN is having only 6 free trade partners. But in the choice only 4 is there. So 2 is wrong, 4 is correct. Read one by one. We know that Australia, yes. Canada, no. So you can eliminate A and D. So already see. If Australia is there, we already see. It's very simple question. Okay. If you know Australia, is not, if Australia is there, then we can eliminate B and D. And if you know that Canada is not there, we got your answer. That is C, 1, 3, 4 and 5. That is Australia, China, India, Japan. USA is also not there. Very simple question. Very simple question, because see, you can't go to you can't write prelims without learning these 10 external sector topic. Without studying the 10 external sector module, if you are going to UPSC, writing UPSC prelims means you don't know what is UPSC exam. How many times? If you just check the last 8-year question paper, itself you will get to know that from these 10 sectors or these topics, UPSC regularly asking. So in that's why I'm telling that, okay. Now if you cover all these 10 modules, all these external sector topics, external sector is quite easy, provided you know the content, okay, what are the things to be studied under external sector, what are the previous year question being asked, and knowing the related current affair. That's it. Okay. Now one more possibility is that, okay, they can again, RCP is still in use, okay, they can ask you, RCP member. So since this question looks not an RCP question, but why this question was asked? Because of RCP. And again, you can expect a question from RCP, many type of question being asked. One common question is that already we have a mega regional trade bloc in the form of this comprehensive part and progressive agreement for Trans-Pacific Partnership, earlier TPP. RCP is also going to come into force. They can ask you this question, okay, which of these countries are common? Which of these countries are common? Again, this figure will help you. The common countries, 7 member countries I told you. Okay, in this TPP now, US is not there, it's an old one. US is not there. So 11 TPP countries, 16 RCP countries. In the 11 TPP and 16 RCP countries, 7 countries are common. 4 Asian countries, Japan, Australia, New Zealand. So this can be a potential question. Looks very difficult, but again use the map, learn it. 4 Asian. So here Australia, New Zealand, Japan may not confuse you, but 4 Asian member countries, learn it properly. Brunei, Vietnam, Malaysia, Singapore, find out which one Asian member is not there. You only know 4 member ASEAN is there. See, in RCP all the 10 ASEAN members is there, but in this Trans-Pacific Partnership only 4 ASEAN members is there, or even the change negotiation also 4 members are there. You see? Okay, so revise these, read the news article, that is very important, okay, read the news article, okay. Now reading these articles will be like a revision for you, for all the 10 modules. Now you will understand that, okay, this one article is not mentioning about one module, is it so? No, it is interconnection. So if you are able to read and forget, read and leave it, obviously you will forget it, leave it, just read it. No need, exam questions will come, you can answer it.